Got like a little
Ah,
almost looks like the almost looks like my camera has a filter. Do I look younger to you guys?
you look wore out.
Makes the hat.
It's the hat. It's the hat, and what Salish said. What Salish called my glasses, your Garth glasses. Yeah. What's Garth's last name?
Elgar.
Oh yeah, Garth Algar. Your Garth Algar glasses. Yeah, man. I man, I've been real busy. I've been real busy with this dilemma that I've been having, related to astronomy.
All right.
I'm not going to talk about it here.
Oh,
because it's
well, I don't want to hear it.
well, I haven't got it figured out yet. That's why. And I'd be talking foolish if I did try to discuss this matter. But man, yeah. Yeah, it's just been occupying my mind for a number of days. In fact,
Occupying space.
occupying my yeah. Occupying well, I need to ensure I have a safe space for my indigenous thoughts.
There was some kind of alignment last night, huh? Planetary alignment. The hell
Yeah,
is
they do that a lot, I guess.
Planetary.
Yeah.
No. Some kind of deal where it's super rare.
Yeah, they were sort of in a line, or like you can see the ecliptic, like where they're sort of arranged all visibly in the night sky, so you can sort of trace the path. If you're accustomed to spotting planets in the night,
Oh, right.
you have to be accustomed to
Mhm.
that, because they're not. I don't know. I guess they're sort of apparent if you. I don't know.
But you're saying this happens all the time?
Well, I mean, they're all going around in orbit, you know. And sometimes we can't see them because the sun is blasting and light onto us. But the
No.
visual phenomenon of it happening during a time which we can see them. Yeah, man. I guess it's kind of rare. Suppose. I don't know.
Every few years.
Every few years it happens. Yeah, it's just
But you don't care. So
no, I didn't. I mean, I seen it. I see it. I seen it once before. There was one year, I can't remember what year, but every night you could see very clearly the path that they were making. It's
Uh-huh.
kind of cool, I guess. Once you become attuned to it, it's pretty awesome to see. But yeah, I
man,
don't
you're a
know.
downer.
I
What's
am a
going
down.
on?
Well, listen, I'm trying to tell you what I'm doing here.
All right.
I'm stalling for time because I was trying to look for a song that we can listen to here real quick. And so I'm not present.
We don't need a song.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, I want to
Throw
listen
a
to this
song
one
on.
actually.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. Oh, what? You got one? You got something?
Yeah, I could do the drop. if we want.
Oh, all right.
Let me a guest drop. Hold on.
Man,
Let me
my mood just changed. Yeah,
Oh.
you know, that is cool. This thing you're talking about, the planetary alignment. Not necessarily alignment, but
Too late.
no, No, it's funny. It's funny. There's a planetary alignment last night because there's a couple of friends came up to visit us from Vancouver, and we went bowling here in Merritt, and then we left the bowling alley, and there was like all of a sudden the power steering went out in my friend's truck, so we had to pull over really quick, and we were kind of expecting the worst, and we were just kind of poking around looking for whatever was wrong with it, and then we opened the fuse box and I found a rat nest.
Whoa.
I thought that was just funny, but then we got back to my house and we seen the rat just running around. But I guess that rat I think it got too cold up here because I just knocked the serpentine belt off or whatever while we were bowling.
Yes. You know what? Actually, this alignment, this proclaimed alignment, is not as spectacular as you've probably seen, like on Facebook.
I don't have Facebook though.
You've probably seen it on social media somewhere.
No, my son just told me.
Oh, he probably seen it on Facebook or social media somewhere. And man, AI is taking off like something wicked, and you have to know. Like anything you see, you got to be pretty critical. And I think the image they put on there was like all those planets were like one after the other.
All right.
And it's not like that, man. It was not like that at all. And you can pull up, you can fire up your Stellarium app if you got it on your phone, and
I used to have Stellarium, but
yeah, you can see it's. I mean, when the sun went down yesterday, you can see. You may have been able to see Venus, followed by Saturn, and then probably about at the apex of the night sky, you would have seen Jupiter, or maybe a little more easterly than at the height of the night sky. Then after that would have been the moon. Then by the time Jupiter got to about the midpoint in the sky, even before that, Saturn and Venus were gone. So there was that big of a gap between Jupiter and the moon. And then by the time Jupiter and the moon set, the sun was already coming up again.
You're bumming me out.
Oh, man. I'm just trying to be a realist here, man. Okay, you can't just take everything you see and just think that's gonna happen, man. So you got to.
Well, you also can't take everything I say and shit all over it.
You got to take your son, have him a little sit down, and say, "Son, you got to give him some tools, man. Give him some tools."
Okay.
Tools for life. That's how to detect AI garbage. I don't know if it's garbage. This is misrepresentation. Okay. We've got a fine young gentleman by the name of Jakob. And he's got a dilemma here, but first he's going to show us this cool song.
Hey,
do it.
Okay.
A lot of those made-up songs.
I thought
it was an Indian song.
It's an Indian song.
Did he sing it in Indian?
Yeah.
How does it sound in Indian?
كنت بابيوي ونسليق ننسخاها ويداش براونوي بيشود كنت the cowboy way ونسليق تشقم قوقم وي oh girlfriend way squeak من جيت شوي oh نم وي شقدنا وي تدقش ويك جيمس يا تنشب شوي Tujukus kade muchum snen til ikshanu. Oh, when there's way, oh, the rodeo way, I can be a sure do we. Oh, don't patch out we, baby away, girlfriend away, it's back like a dance away. But dirty way, had it come up and glad you. Why you are so funny old crazy.
And that's Maple Joe's father.
That's his grandfather.
And you heard him sing that in Merritt.
Yes, I heard.
Did you hear what she was? Did you hear what she was saying in that song, Aaron?
But me?
Yeah, you.
What do you mean? I don't speak that language.
I know what she was saying. English, some English words. Did you hear it?
Cowboy way.
Yeah, the cowboy way.
Cowboy way.
Tell us about this song, Jacob.
Yeah. I hope I didn't let it run too long. I feel like I'm very sensitive to the yeps and yes. It's like it's a cue to stop it or something. That's yep.
Shandin doesn't play the song long enough usually. That's my issue.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you're fine.
All right. Maybe this is a change in the culture. That song was a woman named Annie York, who was getting interviewed by another lady named Wendy Wickwire in 1979. And it's just part of like Wendy was doing research for a book about James Tate and was just going around to all the old timers in the Captain territory, just talking to them about what they remembered about Jimmy Tate. And then, they would just kind of spin off on yarns and that. And then I was listening to one of the interviews, and in one of them, Annie York just suddenly kind of breaks off and starts singing all these random tunes that she remembered hearing when she was because I guess when she was younger, she trained to be a translator for older people, that because there wasn't as many Indian doctors around, they would go to the hospital and not be speaking English, so she would go there as a translator.
Yeah.
So she and this guy named Jimmy Yamos would go to rodeos to just listen to old timers talking, and then they would transcribe it and translate it. Kind of, I guess, trained to be a linguist that way. But that was a song that she remembered hearing that being sung by a guy named. Actually, she never says that guy's name, but he was the grandfather of a woman named Maple Joe that was a big deal language teacher in Merritt in the 70s and 80s. But I guess he was singing about a woman that he really wanted to live with, but couldn't.
Yeah.
But she was, so in the song he's saying he's a lonesome cowboy riding in the hills, and his girlfriend lives over there in the smaller foothills. And she's blind. She can't hear him. She can't hear him singing to her. And then I was showing it to a speaker and trying to figure out some of the words in there. But in the end, he's either saying something about how she has dirty stockings, but she's still his girlfriend. But the words could also mean that she's got white stockings, but she's his dirty little girl. Something like that. Something really crazy. But it's just a little earworm. It's really catchy.
Them old timers sang some good tunes. Like they just
What language was it?
Intlikat and Sheen. So it's like it's a Salish language. It's related to like the what do you call Salish? What's the word for a language over in your neck of the woods, Shandin?
Salish.
Salish? Oh.
Yeah. Salish. Yeah. I mean the linguists say they call the entire stock of those that are like the Salish language Salician languages. Yeah.
Right. Well, it's one of those anyway.
Salish.
Salish. Yeah, it's like a Salish language from kind of more westernly, I guess. It's kind of the territory kind of runs up against Coast Salish, but it doesn't quite. It shares a lot of vocabulary with like Okanagan and stuff like that. There's a lot of like grammatical similarities, but yeah,
Right on the
that's
margin,
Wouldn't that be
yeah.
similar? Wouldn't that
Hey.
be similar to you then, Shandin?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of similar words that
Hey,
recognize. What? Was you say something? Jacob?
no.
Oh.
Loot.
All right, guys, we're losing it here.
We're losing it. Yeah. So yeah, okay. It's right on the edge, right on the periphery of what one would call coastal or more coastal. But I don't know those folks in like Hope.
Hey,
That's just on the other side, right?
yeah, it's kind of like it's
And
on the
this-
peripheral edge of like interior Salish and Coast Salish territory. It's kind of like
Would-
smack.
Would those folks in like Hope in that area, would they be in the Stalos?
Hey.
Would they consider themselves Salish? I mean, interior or coastal?
Coastal.
Really?
Coastal, I think. Yeah, I find that
Okay.
Stalo people are very firmly like consider themselves Coast Salish. Like there's a lot of
Okay.
mixed families around Spuzzum, which is like the furthest
Yeah.
Inpicatton community or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, once you hit Stolo, it kind of switches. Like the language group, I think even switches to like that Halkamelum and Nichalik
Yeah.
and all those dialects and that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool, man.
Interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, I know that that rodeo and cowboy tradition is pretty strong there in Merritt.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I don't know a lot of people there, but in my time here, I've come to understand that rodeo and
there's like
horsebacking and all that is quite a big deal.
yeah, like Nicola Ranch,
Yeah.
Douglas Lake Cow Company. Like,
Yeah.
just tons of you can't throw a rock without hitting someone that's cowboyed before.
Yeah, and that territory there, that environment, just for Aaron to know, is sort of like Hot Springs.
Yeah,
Kind
I
of
mean
dry.
Douglas Lake.
You-
Douglas Lake cattle is like a famous ranch.
Hey,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Hereford
I know.
cows.
I don't know.
They ran like Hereford cattle, like it was a big deal.
Yeah.
There's the Douglas Lake Gang Ranch. There was another one. It's like Fraser River stuff, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. But they're like a weird in the cowboy world, they're like a weird blend of like Nevada people. Like it's kind of a weird their style is like not
Oh, weird.
Really?
Huh.
yeah, it's they call them, like buckaroos and
Yeah. Yeah.
it's kind of like I don't know.
Gaucho?
No.
No, not gauchos.
Gauchos are very different. A buckaroo is like a style, like
The big old
like
hat.
It's even like fashion, like
Yeah.
it's
Hey.
a certain fashion. So like Douglas Lake and those guys, it's influenced by that, which is weird because it's like in Canada.
Yeah, it's like,
It's
that
like
is weird.
way out of the way too. So, but a lot of those people migrated from like Alberta and Saskatchewan, which it's weird because they're kind of known too for employing native people.
Yeah, the Douglas Lake, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my mom's family they all worked for Douglas Lake at one point or another. Or still do.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's like a whole
Hey.
thing.
Well, I
Interesting.
guess the podcasting doesn't work out. I guess I got my backup plan. I'll be a Nepo baby at Douglas Lake.
Get some get some buckaroo.
Hey,
The latest
Well, I
buckaroo.
don't know if they would call themselves buckaroo, but they're like you could tell they're influenced by it.
just
Yeah.
the look of them, eh?
The look, the style, like how they
Hmm.
the tack they use, like, and it's funny because like
Interesting.
native people are attracted to that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like if you look throughout the history of like
Yeah.
native cowboys, and especially in the early reservation, they adopted like silver bits and
Yeah.
like the fashion of it.
Hey,
which became a part of like even like Plains Indian culture and like parade gear and like how Jackson Sundown and Tom Three
Hey,
Person, the whole thing, like it's like woolly chaps and brush
right,
cuffs and silver bits and big scarves and
right.
That's all from that. That's all from that kind of like
interesting.
Nevada thing.
Huh. I guess I just took for granted that that's just how cowboys dress. So that's the only kind of.
Well, there's a style.
Hey, there's
for sure.
Style.
Yeah,
you go to
I mean, like the
styles.
distinct styles, I guess.
Yeah.
Crazy.
North Texas.
Yeah.
South Texas.
Oklahoma, Texas,
Oklahoma,
Arizona, New Mexico.
Arley.
Kind of their own thing. Then you go to like Nebraska and Kansas and like even parts of Missouri. They're like their own deal.
Yeah.
Montana and Wyoming, Saskatchewan, Alberta, BC are real similar. The working styles and the horsemanship.
Interesting. Hey. Crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hey, you had something that you wanted to I mean, I don't want to cut off this cowboy conversation here because it is interesting. And there's a lot that has to
You don't think it's interesting? Be quiet.
I mean, I think it's interesting.
I'm leading in. I'm doing my lead in. No, I do think it's interesting, man. All right. I was trying to remember what is that? It's been a while, but that type of rain. Man, I used to know it because it looked really cool. It's like that braided rain with the ball. There's like balls braided into it.
Oh, a Ramal rain?
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Ramal.
It's got the flappers on the end. Yeah.
See, that comes from the Spanish, right? Like Mexican influenced Spanish.
Yeah.
So you ride your horse, and those little tiny balls on the side on the rein are cues, so they rub on the neck of the horse.
Yeah.
Like depending on how finished the horse is, those little knots mean different things.
Oh, really?
But before you get to that point, it's called two reining. So you ride your horse with a bozal and like a Makati rein.
Yeah.
And then your bit.
Yeah.
So you go in stages. So there's like a snaffle bit horse, a Makati horse, a two rein horse, and then a finished bridle horse.
There you go.
But like people in Montana, Wyoming, even in BC, we adopted the look of it, but not the working style of it.
Oh yeah.
We don't take horses from starting them as a colt and ride them all the way through because we have winter. So like everything you did all that time, you're like, oh, this is bullshit. I'm going inside, So we have like silver bits. There's a lot of people like silver bits and they do all this stuff, and then winter comes and ruins it.
Doggone it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was trying to lead in. And I kicked her back up. Yeah, there's one. Yeah. Does that got those little flappers on the end? Yeah.
Oh, mama.
I didn't. When I first seen those, I thought, nah, that's dumb.
Holy cats.
You'd never use those. They look cool though. But little copper deal on her. Yeah. But I seen a guy use one once, and I was quite impressed.
Yeah, I have that. I don't know how to use it though. Like I'm not one of them guys.
Yeah.
This is good.
Cool.
His horse,
it looks cool.
Yeah, it's nice to look at.
Real cool. His horse was acting up, and he took those reins and that flapper, and he whipped it over that horse's head, and then smacked him right in the nose. And that horse just froze. He had enough of that. He didn't want to get smacked in the nose again. Yeah, I was like, wow, that's the real cowboy there. I was thinking that, man, that guy, he got her down. Anyway, Jacob's got something, man, and he's come
so
to
Jacob,
us.
I'm Aaron.
Oh,
Yeah. My name's Jacob.
I'm Jacob.
Nice to meet you, Jacob.
Hey,
We're not big fans of like the whole give us a long introduction, but I hear you have a dilemma.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
And
All
you
right,
were
I
willing
mean,
to work this out over the podcast.
yeah.
We want to work it
Yeah,
out.
let's work it out. I was
Let's
telling
do it.
Shandin if I'm going to present it to the committee.
Yeah.
The Tribal Research Specialist Podcast Committee. Here we go.
So
Wait,
I work. Oh,
you got to tell us who your parents are and your parents' grandparents.
oh,
I'm
yeah,
kidding.
excuse
No,
me.
we
Should I
don't
do a
do
land
that.
shit?
No,
Wait.
no,
But what about the land
no,
acknowledgement?
no, just kidding.
No.
Go.
Hold on. But
I'll log out. I'll log out.
You'll lie down. Gonna take a nap. This is gonna take a little while.
Yeah.
There's a lot of overlapping territories here, bro.
Yeah. All you got to do is say we're on Dogland and then keep going.
Okay. I'm joining you from Dogland.
Boom.
Boom, there it
He
is.
says boo.
Yeah.
So my dilemma, or something that's kind of built up in my mind into being a dilemma, is that I work for a nonprofit here that's based in Merritt but serves 8 communities, or 11 now. 11 of the different bands of Itlakatm. But part of I work in the language and culture department, and part of what my role and like the department's larger role is to do like community gatherings and events and this sort of thing. And lately we've been trying to really kind of dig in and offer like more, I guess, like substantial seems like a word to use, but a more like specific offering of like cultural gatherings and stuff. So instead of like organizing a powwow or something, or trying to do a round dance out here, like really trying to look for Itlakatm specific ways to promote, more specific ways to promote Itlakatm culture. But one of the challenging things is that there's like been a significant amount of culture loss here, to where there's not a lot of people that still practice like very specific, I guess, ceremonial things. Like there's still people that are very like cultural in the sense that they do things like, they spend a lot of time on the land hunting, a lot of fishing, a lot of knowledge of like different trails and stuff like that, like a lot of like practical cultural knowledge. But one of the things that we're looking at doing in the near future is organizing like a potlatch, as it would have been practiced, probably like looking at like the structure and the organization of the event as it would have been practiced probably around like the mid 1800s or early 1900s. And then I guess where the dilemma part of it comes in is that, and this is just one dilemma, I guess, that I'm feeling, is that is this something that a nonprofit organization should be doing for the community? And is it setting a funny precedent by having it put on by an organization, like a nonprofit, for the community, when, in the original form, it would be between like chiefs and sub-chiefs, or like individuals to other individuals, families to families. But, that's just the tip of the iceberg, I guess. So maybe I'll kind of kick that over to you guys for initial impressions, and then maybe we can get into start unpacking it further. Or do you think I should just put it all out on the table?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I get what you're saying. So this is the deal. You're part of an organization, which is not necessarily affiliated with the band government.
Sorry, Aaron.
What?
Were you looking at cows?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
was listening.
No. I trust that you were listening. I'm just still thinking about the cowboy stuff. Anyways, sorry.
I thought we was done with the cowboy stuff.
We're done with the cowboy stuff. I'm sorry.
Look at that heifer.
That's a beauty.
Trying to see if there's a brand.
You know where that would look really nice?
Douglas
at a potlatch.
At a potlatch.
Just walk that heifer in for your distinguished guest.
Yeah. I'm listening though. I promise.
No, I trust you.
The curse of ADHD.
Oh, brother. No, you know, you're in good
busted
company.
you,
You're in
man.
good company. You're in good company.
Jacob busted you.
I didn't mean to call you
Scrolling
out.
cows.
That's like we're just like the two.
Yeah,
it's
I
just
can
like
see
two
it.
pin.
We can
It's
see
two
the reflection in your
pinballs.
glasses.
It's like the pinball effect when you get two of us in the same room. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Even in a
man.
virtual space. It's okay. It's okay. I didn't mean to call you out.
My non-reflective.
You can see it
Indian
even
house
better
room.
now. Yeah, I can see it better. Yeah,
I don't want to see my reflection in your glasses. Keep looking
need
at
some
cows.
non-reflective. All right, let's wrap it. Let's bring it in.
Anyways,
Here we go.
sorry.
This is the deal, man.
But yeah, so this is
You got a nonprofit. You got a nonprofit that's not affiliated with any particular band, or is it? That'd be my question. Is it affiliated or non-affiliated?
It's affiliated. Like the board of the directors is made up of the chiefs of the bands that we represent.
Okay, so
we have a lot of freedom in terms of like the programming that we can offer, right?
So there's oversight by the bands, the 11 or 8 bands in which
you
serve.
know, I'm gonna clarify that point really quick because
we'll do it now.
I feel like I should know because I work there.
Okay, do it now.
Excuse me really quick.
Clarify it now.
Yes. Clarifying it.
Okay, so the board while you're getting those details, so the oversight of this organization is by the band chiefs, but it's a nonprofit. I mean, so this is the initial question I had after that was, well, who runs this nonprofit? Like, who is the executive directors and those kind of things? Is this, we talking like band members, or is this one of those deals where it's a group of what do they call them? Allies? Group of allies?
I'd say no, it's band members. Even like most of the employees are band members that if they're not a member of one of the, so it's 8 bands plus 2 that we have MOUs with.
Okay. Now clarify. There was something you're going to clarify.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Yes. What was I clarifying?
Wait. What's
I was clarifying the number of bands that we're affiliated with.
What's up?
Hold up.
Okay.
What's the overall goal of the nonprofit?
That was going to be the third thing I was going to ask. Yeah.
Yes. The overall goal of the nonprofit is to preserve and disseminate culture, or like promote access to culture, connection to culture, protect the interests of the participating bands, provide like economic opportunity, jobs, training, just like a
and the objective right now is the group you work for, which is the nonprofit, wants to host or sponsor a potlatch.
Yeah, and so I mean, I've been reluctant even to call it a potlatch when we're promoting the event. So at the moment, it's just we're just calling it like the it's just like getting together and enjoying each other's company. But the event is modeled after a potlatch. There's also no word for a potlatch in the language. Like, it's referred to as something that people do.
Was this was this thing described by an anthropologist who took the liberty to call it that because that's what they maybe were familiar with?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's fair to say. Like, there's the events. Go ahead, Aaron.
I'm assuming it's the goal is some sort of ceremony, right? Or
yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's like a potlatch seemed like it was in this neck of the woods for Intlekatlan people. It was more of a social. Like it was like a pretty recently adopted practice. When by the time like there was, I guess, like ethnographers and anthropologists that were studying it. So like I guess when Tate was there, it was probably like 1890s. They were saying that it had come around, so like for 60 or 70 years, so probably 1820s, historically speaking. But Yeah, but I guess there are ceremonial aspects. Like there's things like this particular dance that women would do. I guess like socially prestigious elements of it, but not. But I don't know that there's like there was the spiritual component to it.
Hmm.
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 But where's the
So where's the dilemma?
crossroad? Where's
Yeah.
the impasse?
Yeah.
The impasse, I guess, is just like I think it's something that you guys have talked about. I think in like the last couple episodes when you were talking about access to culture and like the work the economy of like workshop facilitators, you know, like
Mm.
when does that when like what how big of a role should the organization play itself
Yeah.
play in like delivering these things? But then it's like, we have funding to do these sort of gatherings, so why not make sure that they're culturally specific? But then it gets into this whole thing where it's like, you know, is this like a practice that we want in the end? I guess like that in my mind, like the ultimate final goal is that this is something that would be kind of taken up by people and hopefully, kind of move.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Okay.
feel me?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, now I do.
Okay, now
Now I
we're
do.
cooking.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is that there's a specific type of gathering that you're kind of like hunting for, like you're kind of either
Hey.
trying to reintroduce this or have it catch momentum within a certain community or all these communities.
Yeah, it's practiced by all the communities. Like it's referred to as a potlatch in anthropological writings, but the description of the event are described by elders as recently as like the 80s and 90s. It was like in living memory back then.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think I've ever heard someone say specifically it was a potlatch, but they described the way that they would be in like the communities would be invited to attend and what the proceedings would look like. But yeah, I think like the ideas were kind of chasing for like this particular gathering that seemed like it was really beneficial, or
So
seemed
what
like it was something that was, hey,
what was the purpose in like the past for them? Like why or how would somebody say, oh, I want to have this? We'll just use potlatch as the term, but
hey,
we know that that's not what it's called. But so
yeah.
how did that come about? Like, why would somebody have one? Or
I think probably for chiefs and stuff like that, it seems as though it was like a prestigious thing to do, eh? Like it was something that's like a demonstration of your wealth and then that would be like according to the literature, I think those would be like once every couple of years as they kind of got their things together to do.
Mhm.
But then there was also like
Mhm.
smaller scale ones that seemed like it was just about like community cohesion or just like promoting relationships and goodwill.
was it also done in as a form to celebrate an achievement?
That it could have been, but I mean that's the thing too, and that's where it gets kind of difficult to kind of where should we try to prioritize, because there are I think that I was talking to Shandin a little bit about this the other day, but there's just the way that kind of culture loss happened here was pretty drastic in ways that I think you'd like. I remember you just talked about a nephew of yours, I think, wrote a paper about the way that language loss was impacted by like the freeways running through Crow or something that
Recently,
effect. Or like yeah, like like economics as like like a something that would really drive culture loss is something really. I think that happened kind of hard and fast, even before there was things like the potlatch ban and all that, and all the schools and that. Like there's between like the cattle industry, mining,
yeah.
like
We
in the
definitely had
70s and
those
80s. Yeah.
things, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was in like the 80s, right? The 70s and
Yeah.
80s when the interstate was made. That's what his paper was about.
Oh, okay. Oh, wicked. Yeah, I'd really like to read that. But I think yeah, like I think you could. I haven't. That's the other thing too, right? Because now we're getting into like the speculative I feel like it's almost speculative, where I kind of feel like that guy from Ancient Aliens, where he's kind of but like I could see like a chief that would like say you're a chief or an individual that had amassed a certain amount of wealth and felt like celebrating that or kind of demonstrating it to the community, but that's
there seems to be this common theme with like native peoples, which is coming down to it sounds like you listen to the podcast, right?
Yes, sir.
He's a contributor too.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so yeah, but don't let that sway your.
No. I guess what I'm getting at is that means you're kind of familiar with the way I talk, and like,
yes,
I'm also like,
I'm a big fan.
Oh, well, yeah. So then that means I can talk to you the way I want to talk to you.
Yes, please.
So I would say, abandon the ethnographer stuff. Like, just abandon that. That's gonna hurt you. That's not gonna do anything for you, other than just like maybe provide some context. But I fell into this loophole where I was like looking at ethnographies, but I was getting so caught up in the technical aspect of it, but also in like the reinterpretation of it, like looking at ethnographies and saying, like, what did they really mean here? And that was fun. That was like fun stuff. But in terms of actual preservation work, that stuff can like prolong success, because that's a luxury we don't have in preservation. To say, I'm going to spend all this time reevaluating these ethnographies, reinterpreting them, and helping understand them to where applying their writings to practice and realize what they're trying to talk about, and then fix those gaps, right? It's a trap we all fall into, but I would tell you to not do that. Okay.
Yeah.
What I would say is, if you really want to use your organization to help preserve and perpetuate any forms of traditional life, you first have to understand intent. So you're looking at the potlatch and say, hey, I want to do this potlatch. Wipe that idea out the thing too, man. Like, what's your goal? Like, am I trying to celebrate? If you look at your own people's culture, there's often forms, like categories of celebrating success, redistributing wealth, interpreting luck, giving fortune, and are fighting misfortune, right? Like, you look at what's the goal. And in this case, if you broaden your if you look at the broad scope of your organization, it would actually slow you down. So you have to say, well, what's a need? What's the need? Not the ceremony you're going to use. Look at the need. So let's just say, hey, and be as specific as possible, right? Like, like if there's a sick relative, start there and say, hey, this person that I'm related to, in order to find healing in what they're doing, what ceremonial aspects can we use that are semi-public, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Either just bring good fortune or whatever, or you can do the other thing. What was used to find successes or to celebrate successes in your past? So like for the Crows, right? It was real common for somebody to, if you had many war deeds, or even nowadays, like somebody who wins cross country or becomes a state champion, they'll have a giveaway for that person where they sing that family song, and that individual will then give gifts publicly to his clan mothers and clan fathers as a way of saying, I was so fortunate because of the wishes of my clan relatives that I'm going to give gifts back to them. And I'm paying for the wishes they made for me. So it's to bring a community together. It's often better to celebrate successes than to dwell on pain, right? And in Native people, we tend to fall into this trap where we want to like be down all the time.
Mm-hmm.
God damn, man. Even like we go to a celebration and I'll watch somebody, they'll say, we invited so-and-so to speak to us. And it's a celebration, that individual will turn it into this like
Yeah.
eulogy,
Yeah.
you know?
Yes. Yes.
Wake,
And it's
full on
like-
wake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The honor song effect.
Yeah, yes, yep, the honor song effect. That's exactly, man, you do listen to podcasts. So I would say scrap the idea of the potlatch and investigate the need of the communities, and then figure out what ceremonial aspect that can be semi-public or invite only, whatever, that would fit that need.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
and without making it feel inauthentic, you would then encourage somebody to say, we can provide resources for that particular thing to be successful, but we would need you to come and ask for that. Instead of the nonprofit saying, hey, we want to do this because we're dope, then it just kind of looks like,
Oh, we are. Just kidding.
then it just kind of like, to me,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I'm getting over this, like, because I work on the front lines of preservation.
Hey.
I'm getting over this idea that an organization's job is to preserve culture. It's the job of people to preserve culture. And if they don't want it, there's only so much you can do. So it has to be some sort of sovereignty in their culture. There has to be some agency. So
Mhm.
you can provide resources, you can provide venue, you can provide all that other stuff. But at the end of the day, they have to come and say, this is what we want it for. This is the need we want it for. This is how you can help. Because then if you as an organization step up too much, you can actually create this weird dependency or enabling behavior.
Yeah.
And then that ceremony or that belief way becomes choked out by that system. I've seen
Yeah.
it. I've seen it happen on every
Yeah,
res I've been to, on everything. And if you're really trying to perpetuate and preserve a belief or a system of beliefs, whether that belief is social or religious or spiritual or ceremonial or ritualistic or war culture or anything,
Hey.
it's not going to work unless people want to use it.
Yeah.
We're not a religious system like the church where we just do our thing on Sunday. It's used by people. People have to use it.
Yeah.
You know, if they don't want to use it, you can't force that use on them, because then it loses everything. It's
Totally.
like a negative result of Sundance culture in the plains is turning Sundances into like annual events, right?
Right.
Mm.
Yep.
Where
Mhm.
that was not a thing. Someone had to
Yeah.
approach the owner of that ceremony and say, we want to have a Sundance for this reason. And then the Sundance owner or the chief, whatever you want to call him, would say, this is what you have to do, blah, blah, blah. And then it would kick off, right? If nobody approaches that person and says that, then that person doesn't have a dance,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But because of culture loss, we created a system where we're like, well, every
The fourth
July
weekend in
23rd,
July.
you know, we're gonna have a Sundance, whether somebody asks for it or not,
Rain or shine.
rain or shine. and so then what happens is now you got a whole new crop of Sundance people that say, we're gonna go to Sundance, and they say it like that, right? We're gonna go to Sundance on July 21st.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now they don't even understand like all this stuff that comes up to it, right? There's a bunch of things that belief systems involved in it. So what
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
telling you is a similar thing, right? I'm telling you a similar thing. Like if you can play the role of preservationist and it can backfire on you,
Yeah.
because just like your people, you existed before this nonprofit. And you will exist after this nonprofit. So you have to teach your people to live without this nonprofit.
Hey.
That resources come and go, avenues for support come and go, but the intent and the use of ceremony has to come from your people.
Yeah.
You see
No,
that you see that a lot with
yeah.
like language learning, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Like there's a dependency on
Oh,
grant
yeah.
money. Oh, we need grant money to buy computers to save this language.
Curriculum.
Yeah, we need
Or
to
it's
build
like
a
I gotta go get my
curriculum.
bachelor's degree. I gotta get my bachelor's degree to learn,
Yeah, we need
like the
to,
root word system and stuff like that, or
we
like
need
this
to-
particular grammar system. But I
Yeah.
can't
No one
have a
taught.
conversation.
I didn't have to
Can't
go
have
to
a
college to
conversation.
learn how to drink. Like I figured that out. I figured out how to be in a bar.
Yes,
Like,
sir.
Yeah.
and it was through trial and error. And then not once did I go, they're mean to me. I
That's
just went to a different bar.
That's an interesting one because
Oh boy.
like you said, the agency can help, right? It can help.
Yeah.
The agency can have a role, but we see, like Aaron was mentioning, and like we're joking about this idea of a consortium or an agency to preserve and protect language or whatever, or cultural pursuits. Yeah, I think that's somewhat apparent now, at least for most people, that dependency. And I wrote this down when you were saying that. Say, well, we can't do this. We got to write a grant. It's like waiting for the money to save like this critical part of your language or your cultural ways, when you have to build the use of it first.
Yeah.
You have to generate an interest in its purpose and its intent. Then you don't need a grant. I don't know.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, and I definitely hear you, and that's exactly like, those are all exactly the concerns, right? I think the sort of challenges, I guess, with the situation culturally that Inpicatan people are in terms of like this, like these ceremonies, and that is that the practice of them really fell off quite hard. Like there are cultural people, like there are a lot. There's there's a lot of people that, like a lot of elders and even like middle-aged folks that are still rather fluent in the language. But also, just before I forget, it's really funny that you mentioned the Sundance, the prominence of Sundance, because me growing up in BC I didn't even know that Sundances weren't supposed to be annual.
Well, I mean, they can be annual, but
Hey.
it's all dependent on a sponsor. Somebody has to sponsor it, right? And that
Yeah.
doesn't mean that can mean someone sponsors it every year and they just pick the same date.
Yeah.
But that's understanding practice and understanding intent. I know as a practitioner of the Sundance that Sundances don't happen unless someone sponsors it.
Gotcha. Hey.
But as an uninformed native person, they might think, oh, we're going to take a drive and go to Sundance and then we'll do our thing. But they don't know all that. I think it's more important to teach those things, because then people start to know how to exercise those beliefs, because they're like muscles, right? Instead of just waiting for this all-encompassing power to allow for it. I don't believe in that. I kind of used to believe in that, where I'd say there should be a place where we can go and do these things, like A, B, and C, whatever. But now I'm learning, like, that's not how it is. That's never been how anything works, ever.
Yeah.
Even white folk don't work that way, right?
Yeah.
Even malls are dying, right? Like people don't want to do that. Like it's not a thing. So it's like it's weird.
Cinnabon.
And I used to like
Cinnabon no more.
I used to like comment a lot about the church and like all this stuff, but even if you like investigate the church, the practice of Christianity and the spirituality of Christianity functions the same way, where there's these root beliefs and rituals and ceremony that guide and everything else. But because the church exists on Sundays, now that's become the thing where you're like, to be a Christian, you go to church on Sunday. Well, actually, any Christian knows there's all this other stuff, just like any Sundancer knows there's all this other stuff. And there's how you use it. It's actually the belief. That's the belief, not my ego bone whistle makes me a Sundancer. You know what I mean? Like it's not a thing, man. Like it's how these ceremonies are used. Because if I say, as a Crow Indian, I'm just using myself as an example, Jacob. but I would say at the base level, there's probably similarities in that there's me as an individual. I have my reason for wanting to find success or healing. In Crow, we say dimya, right? Dimya means like to survive or to help yourself. And then when you give thanks, they say ahoma. Ahoma means like I'm saying thank you. So like if you're gonna have a sweat lodge, and somebody say, why are we having a sweat today? And you're the person that wanted to have that sweat, you would say, awuzu dimya, or awuzu ahoma, meaning I'm having a sweat for survival, or I'm having a sweat for saying thank you. So if you're going to have a Sundance and you're sponsoring the Sundance, they'll say, why are you going to have a Sundance? You would say that ashkishilis dimya, ashkishilis ahoma, meaning, or you're picking which one. I'm saying this one, I need it for survival, or I'm saying thank you for something.
Okay.
That ceremonial use, the practice, the ritual is the same, but the intent is different. So if I'm going to have a clan feed, is it for dimya or for ahoma? If I'm having a pipe ceremony, is it for dimya or for ahoma? And when you really look at tribes, even I lived at Flathead for a long time. If you really look at the real way of people practicing things, it's similar in the sense that like the intent has a lot to do with which ceremony you're going to pick. So this is my reason. Aaron Brien just won $1 million. I want to say thank you for that.
Hey.
I'm going to do this. You know what I mean? So I would say that's what you want to, use your organization to push that idea, the intent of something. Don't just be a clearinghouse and be like, because then all you're going to do is create another organization that tribal people are dependent on. And then at that point, you're not helping anybody. You're just like the church. You're just like Indian Health Service. You're just like the what is the Indian Act? You're just
the
like
government.
You're just like it's the same thing. It's just another building for Indians to go get in line and put their hand out. And we don't want to do that. We want to create strong people that know how to function.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
Just as a rewind, go through that list you said, because those are important things, like the reason why. You said redistribution of wealth, Aaron, remember? And then you said, celebrate success.
I just made it up.
Yeah, those are good ones though. You rattled those off. And those
I just kind of was thinking of like why people have certain things. So like redistributing wealth, sharing
that's an important
one.
Celebrating the success or acknowledging
the success of something.
Yeah.
Or healing.
Yeah, healing. And then
what else would I say?
warding off misfortune.
Oh yeah, fighting misfortune.
Oh, and luck.
And luck.
Yeah.
Celebrating luck or transferring luck, buying and selling of luck, giving of luck. That's all things. People don't like saying those phrases because all these Indian people in Canada and in the US all think like Christian people and all think like church people. And when you say luck,
boom,
that's like a bad thing. That's like witch doctor stuff. But really, that's what it is. We believe ourselves to be fortunate. We get to a point where we're so fortunate, we share our fortune with those around us. That's exactly even what the concept of a potlatch is. Like the idea is that I'm so lucky, I'm so fortunate for A, B, and C that I'm now going to just give stuff away. And I know I'm so lucky that it's all going to come back to me down the road.
Yeah.
And then it just keeps going, right?
Yeah.
So when you're not lucky, then you have to say, why am I not lucky? I have to fix that. And some people go to medicine men. Some people go into a sweat. Some people, but there's all these things, right? Like you can do all these things. Yeah. So the same thing happens for everything else, whether that's I had a good dream or I had a bad dream. What do I do? I have bad luck. I have good luck. What do I do?
Yeah.
When you have good luck, that doesn't mean you sit at home and enjoy your good luck. That means that you have to now share your good luck.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
Absolutely.
obligated to share your good fortune,
Yeah.
and you're obligated to hide your misfortune. You don't share your misfortune with people. That's the thing. And when you
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
start looking at your culture, you'll see those signs, your signs. It's real simple, and I think we complicate it because we get culture committees, and now we've created systems that never existed before. And then we have the government is an oversight, the province is an oversight.
Yeah.
The successes in
Yeah.
non-native world become the priority, and now, but then we don't translate those into our native beliefs. Like for me, as a Crow Indian, if I have a good job, I'm considered lucky. So I didn't say that doesn't mean I got to do an Indian job. That doesn't mean I have to do Indian job. That means, what's the belief? The belief of being fortunate is that I can feed my kids, that I have a home come home to, that my kids are healthy, that my wife can fold clothes in a clean environment, and you know,
Yeah.
she's over there folding.
Come to
She's
think of
folding
it,
clothes. She's flipping me off now.
Yeah, you should be helping her.
Yeah, come on.
What?
Have you heard of any Indian corporate accountants that have thrown ceremonies for their success?
Any what? Accountant?
Just like a corporate accountant or a lawyer or like a bigwig of some sort.
Lawyers, I've for sure.
Oh, heck
lawyers
yeah! Okay,
I've heard of are like.
Damn. Okay. Oh, here I was trying to be smart.
I think it just depends on their cultural upbringing, you know.
I think we tend
totally.
to,
Yeah.
I think we tend to like separate. We think like our Indian stuff is over here, our Southern stuff is here. But one thing that Crow people have done that's pretty unique, maybe, is that we honor civil accomplishment in the same way we might honor like war deeds and veteran accomplishments. But what that did, like me myself, I would not compare myself to somebody who had been to war. But the benefit of Crow belief today is that someone might ask me to name their child because of my successes, because that's the Crow belief. You name kids after personal successes. So in the old days, you would ask somebody who had seen war, who had war deeds, you know. So the practice of naming kids, the practice of having recounting of good fortune as a way to share luck, that still exists with the Crows, that still exists in a continual line. It had never died. But I think it's because our leadership at an early point in the reservation era made a decision to count that way of life. Had they not done that, it could have paused that. There would have been a confusion because we got to the 60s and a lot of other tribes who had not accounted for that, they didn't feel worthy enough to make those decisions. So those cultural leaders at that time, you have to be culturally competent and culturally confident to make those decisions. So we always look back in the past and we said, well, what would the old timers have done? Blah, 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 right? Well, we were fortunate here. And I would say the Blackfeet seem to have been really similar. And even like at Flathead, you can see aspects of that where the old timers made those decisions then. That way it continued the stuff, you know, as opposed to like saying, well, that white way of life doesn't fit in our way of life. And for the most part, they're true. But what the underlying definition is fortune, sharing of good and bad fortune, or the fighting of misfortune, or whatever. But knowing what that is, right?
Totally.
Crows, to me, having a degree doesn't not make me better than anybody else. But it is seen as a civil accomplishment. So therefore, Crows see it as a form of good fortune. So I think that's like a real thing, right?
Totally.
Just using my people as an example. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Like everybody's different, but I think the expression of giving thanks and the expression of survival, of ceremonial use for survival, is different. But really, I feel like those are your two major categories.
Yeah.
So.
No, absolutely. And I think maybe to catch up to some of the stuff that you oh, that's incredibly valuable. Like that's, but I think maybe, I guess, to clarify on the intent of the event or this gathering that we're hosting, I think, like I said, like I've been kind of reluctant to call it a potlatch just because I'm really like, I think that because there is so much ethnographic work in this, like among Thompson Indians around here, there's like a lot of there's a lot of like well-founded like ill will towards relying on ethnographic material to inform cultural, just there's a lot of like resistance using ethnographic material, which is part of the reason why I don't want to use terms like potlatch in that. But I think in terms of the intent of the event, I think using the form of a potlatch rather than trying to call the event a potlatch itself, because here it was more or less it in simple terms, I guess, it just more or less like a family reunion. Hey, like one person would invite another, people would come, small gifts were exchanged, but mostly people were off like playing hand game, singing. There's like a couple dances that people would do, but I think like the intent behind us using that form of like an old-fashioned potlatch, or that these gatherings that were described by elders where people kind of get together and they do this like a shlei, a giveaway, is sort of the intent is to sort of reintroduce like a gathering in the community for that purpose of just getting together to sing and have like specific like songs from here, and then also just to kind of come together in good times, because like a lot of the work that's happening here actively in communities is around funerals. That's like pretty standard. So pretty standard, right? So I think like the intent is to just try to put some like create these opportunities for people to come together and like experience that gathering, I guess, is it. But I just wanted to throw that out there, I guess. But I completely agree with that, like avoiding an over reliance on recreating like what Tate saw, because who knows what that guy saw who knows what that guy saw and how he describes it, right? Like I think totally agree. But I think
maybe as a suggestion,
hey,
I don't want to discourage anything, but I also think that there's major successes in smaller routes.
Okay.
So like you mentioned a couple of things, right? Like you mentioned a giveaway. What'd you call it? A shlei?
Oh, a shlei. It's like a woman's dance that was like not a society dance. It was just like an open. That's like something that conceivably any woman could get up and shlei, but you could go and fast to switch up the way that you would dance or to change your dress. You just go look for an inspiration in the way that I think a lot of people are familiar with, right? Like a fast, you dance all day, sleep, dance all day until you had like an inspiration to change up your dance style or your regalia. Oops.
Mm-hmm.
But the last time that people kind of schlayed at a gathering that was like maybe beyond, this is the last time that a lot of people remembered a shlei happening would have been in the 20s.
Did you have
knew how to?
So is there a lot of people that still know how to do this, or just a handful?
Nobody. There are women that remember what it looks like. Like people can describe it, but nobody that just goes to a gathering and shlays that I'm aware of. Maybe this is all happening. I just don't know because I'm just a guy.
Mm-hmm.
So and that's the other thing too, right? Like I could be completely off base with all of this stuff. It's just like there's just happenings that no one wants to invite me to.
No, that's definitely
and that would be cool, honestly. That would, and if that's the case, then my bad. but that's just the thing, right? It's just like at one, and that's just it, right? Like there's just as far as there's still people I need to talk to, but like this was like a public dance, eh? And it hasn't happened publicly in a way where it was like a big gathering for, like the last one that I'm aware of would have been in like the 20s or 30s, where there was like a larger kind of potlatch get together where people were slaying, and there was like dances associated with gift giving and that sort of thing.
You should make a shirt that says "You slay" and have a picture of a woman from your tribe, like how they dress or something.
The group chat for the women that are practicing to slay at the gathering is called Slay Queen.
Slay Queen. Slay Queen.
Slay Queen.
To me, that just sounded like your language. I didn't know you said queen.
Slay Queen. Slay Queen. Hey,
but I mean, and that's
so there's the songs do exist and people know them though. That's the thing too.
They exist in wax cylinder format.
Okay. Well, you said they're practicing? What are they practicing?
So a lot of people will go to sun dances. There's like a Sundance that happens here. There's a lot of people are involved in like the winter dance tradition.
Keep going.
I mean, that's then there's just like funeral practices that people go by. Oh.
No, you said the women who are practicing for the
like literally practicing, like just like going by interviews, descriptions, a couple of videos that still exist of women like demonstrating what the dance was, and like it's like a few people that I work with that have kind of harangued into that have expressed interest in kind of trying to do this dance again.
Yeah.
So it's kind of practicing it to see.
So you guys believe in fasting?
Yep, fasting, sweats. Fasting, sweats. Back in the day, there was like prayer dances. This is something I was getting into talking about with Shandin as well, where there's like ethnological references to shared practices with Yakimas and Nez Perce and Kootenai and Flatheads, but
you said
again, kind of coming back to like this, coming back to that loophole, that loop that you get with like overanalyzing and obsessing over these ethnographic records, man. Where you turn into like exactly. Yeah. Brother.
And you're gonna drive me crazy.
No,
what I'm trying to get at
in a good way.
What I'm trying to get at is sometimes I think in order for culture to survive, it's linked to other things in your beliefs, right? So what exists today without sharing anything not sharing anything you don't want to, but what exists today that is practiced?
So beliefs around hunting, like certain protocols when we hunt, the way that we after if we have a successful hunt, the way that we dress a deer in the field.
And these are these are more like personal practices that people would do, like families or like a father, son, or whatever. Is there any like
public, or a group,
like a group ceremony or group things that exist that are practiced today that are like you mentioned the Sundance, right? The Sundance is obviously like a big thing amongst the plains, but it's like that's a group thing, right?
Powwows. Powwows.
Yeah, those don't even count.
I know. I know. Well, and that's just it, right? Is that there's hand games. People play hand game, but that's the thing, right? Is that there's not really any. There's nothing that I would compare to like.
But don't compare. Don't compare. I'm just saying, because everybody's different. I mean, I feel like Crow ceremonial life. There's some overlap with a lot of tribes, but we're also not the same as the Sioux or or the Salish. But
there's
And I wouldn't compare Crow people's informalness or because we're different, right? We're really informal. Like our ceremonies are like, I've even heard of other people coming here and they don't like our ceremonies because people like are laughing too much and they're like talking while things are going on and people are like, they got no respect. But I mean, also like, what are you gonna do, man? Like, it's just not your way. So it's like,
no,
you know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, yeah.
So I wouldn't like, just as your tribe. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. I'm really trying my best to. I'm on one today. I just want you to know.
No, it's good. No, I caught you on a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is just how this is how I feel when I get to talking about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's like this, you know, like that, like talking about ceremonies and practices and revitalization like it's ancient aliens or something, like really just grasping at straws or something, it feels like, you know what I mean?
And really,
it's just like, it's
Shandin is the guy to talk to about actually bringing back. So I believe that if you want to do something, you have to go talk to people who've done it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And believe it or not, I'm going to say something that's controversial. A lot of our elders have never done it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the truth though.
It's the truth.
No, absolutely. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Well, that's just it, right? Like, there's a lot of knowledge, like a lot of people that can
sometimes
even like
Yeah,
like living they'll say living memory.
A certain kind of knowledge that probably not in a certain way what you're looking for, not practical knowledge, but
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
right.
Like understand the ethics and the value.
If you've listened to the podcast, you know I harp on this idea of practitioner's knowledge.
I know.
It's different, man. It's different.
Yeah, no, I believe in it. I believe in the practitioners, and that's the thing. It's just like there just aren't, aside from things like and that's not even like, I feel like when I feel like the way I'm about to talk about this is kind of, it sounds disrespectful. I don't mean for it to be, but like there are people that are practitioners of sweat, people that are practitioners of like identifying like places of cultural significance, like places where Indian doctors trained, like the trails that people would take back in the day, and like identifying the cultural significance of those places. But in terms of like ceremonial practitioners of things that existed like until say like 1915, there aren't many things to speak of, especially things that are public, right? Like it's those kind of things kind of fell out of practice. Like if probably like maybe at the latest, like in like the early 90s or late 80s. I'm just trying to think of
how about this?
Like very specific. Go for it.
I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you consider yourself a practitioner or a historian or or do you think of yourself as an analyst of people who've studied your people? What are you?
I'm an aspiring practitioner.
Then be that, right?
Yeah.
Like
totally.
I think I've made the personal mistake of spending too much time on the critique of my culture and the critique of people who've studied my culture and the critique of ticky-tack shit. At the end of the day, it comes down to you finding something like a thing, like an actual thing that's done in your people, or there's enough knowledge for it to be practiced again. You cultivate that knowledge and you create an environment where it's going to be done again. And I don't mean that theoretically. I mean that exactly how Shandin did with it, the scalp dance amongst his people. That was not practiced.
Yeah.
He put in the work and it was practiced. They did it. So that's not like a theoretical thing. That's not like I want to create a space where everybody feels welcome. Like, no, that's not like, totally. I mean, I get that. And that definitely has to be a thing. Like that's a thing, right? Like creating an environment where people feel comfortable. But at the end of the day, in order to pursue something that people aren't confident in, it's going to be awkward. and it's going to be uncomfortable, and people have to be cool with that. But if you want to create an environment where everybody's happy and everyone sings kumbaya, then you're not going to get anything done. Like you're not, man. Like,
I hear you.
I'm gonna be honest, man. Like I get to see it. I work with a lot of different tribes. I get to see people struggling in culture every day. And I lived on another reservation where they were fighting, right, for their culture. So I witnessed the pitfalls people fall into, and one of them is they, for one, overanalyze, and they don't want to offend anybody. Well, I'm sorry, you're not. Nothing's gonna get done then. And Shandin. So just so I get off my soapbox here.
Okay.
The scalp dance is a good example. What Shandin did.
I'd really love to hear about that. What the process
Shandin,
of that was like.
You should share some of that.
Yeah. So this is the deal. So what was set in motion for like the ultimate thing that needed to push this this thing into practice was this thing that we tried to emphasize at the beginning is the purpose. You need the purpose. So if I look back at the list of things that exist right now for you and where you're from, you have all the pieces, right? Like there's powwows going on. That means people know how to sing. Maybe not the right songs, but they know how to sing. They engage in a practice, Sundance practice, maybe not from there, but they understand formality and the emphasis of
ritual.
Ritual. Maybe not exactly in the sense that we don't want to critique it too much. And since there are hand games going on, you understand sort of this exchange of goods, or this need to continue this idea of trading luck or trying to gain luck and giving luck away in the ideas of misfortune. So in this pursuit to try to reclaim this Sayudlam is what we called it, is all those pieces had to come together, and it really wasn't just my work alone. Like it started back in the 70s. It started back in the 70s when that generation said, "Hey, there's this thing we used to do. Let's try to bring it back." And so, but there wasn't the connection was the purpose wasn't connected well. So it was used. It was used just as a demonstration. So during the powwows, they'd say, "Oh, we'll demonstrate some of these old dances." Well, that's cool, but people got to see it, but it wasn't practical. It's just dress up and play Indian for a little bit, But that sort of set in the minds of the young people to see this, and then when they stop seeing it, they might start wondering, well, why don't we see it anymore? And so it sort of hit a speed bump in a way, but it was still attached onto a very specific purpose, and that was for people to get married, because that was one part of, or could be a part of that. So then people would do this, some of the songs that to a limited degree, when they got married, they say, "I want to get married in a traditional way," and they say, "Oh yeah, you can do that as part of the scalp dance." So again, people would dress up and they'd sing the songs, maybe one or two, and the lady would put the stick on the guy's shoulder, and then they get married, and everybody hoop and holler. That's okay, and all that. But when I wanted to well, first of all, I got really into trying to understand the true nature of this dance. So that's when I started doing a lot of research on the old notes and who wrote it down, looking for pictures, scouring the archives for songs that are not in use anymore. So that sort of personal research to try to find the fullness of it, and then to understand how that leads into a community purpose. Well, during all that research, of course, I understand that, oh yeah, this dance is a pretty important one for men to narrate their deeds, and also for women to recognize the deeds of the man in a particular way. And it was also an opportunity for women to also certain women to also be recognized for their own deeds. And there's a lot to it. It's a lengthy description of it, but then there all of a sudden there was this opportunity, and it was that the purpose arrived, and that happened to be when the boys basketball team and the girls basketball team at our local high school won state. and it was a mix of both white and Indian, you know. But then that
Yeah.
was the time I thought, okay, this is what this needs right now. Is this is the time when this would be done, when this huge success was achieved, these deeds were achieved, and it was a good time to let these young men understand how they can and how they can't brag about this thing that they accomplished. And so yeah, it was just that sort of the merging of that purpose. And it was but then we had those other things, those other components set up, right? We had people who knew how to sing, some of them who sort of knew the songs a little bit just because they had helped out before. But the new songs that I had, that I found in the wax cylinders and all those kind of things, you know, like Aaron said, it was pretty awkward because the singing was probably real ugly, and you know, nobody could get it right. There was maybe one person singing and trying to catch the song, and the beat was off, or you know, it was ugly, and it was, at least in my eyes, my critique, it was not up to par, you know. But man,
Yeah.
the participants, for the witnesses and the participants, it was something far different. They've
They-
seen it, we did it, and some of the older folks who were there, they were happy to see that was happening again, the full thing. But I got pushback too, though, because people were stuck in this idea that this is not the way it's done, that mentality, because of what they seen, the like my generation and what their parents had seen, that generation, which was not the full deal, the full
Right.
thing. And so there was some pushback, and people didn't want to. They got their feelings hurt because I don't know, they didn't want me to do it because it wasn't what they thought it should be done, you know.
Hmm.
But yeah, so in that pursuit, what I aimed to do was invite people that typically aren't invited. And those are the more open-minded people, it seems like, because they're not stuck in this sort of rut of this is the way it's done. This is the way that, you know, my mom, my dad told me how to do it. These were people
Hey.
who typically don't get invited. I know they're sort of on the periphery, and they were eager to. They were eager to show up. They didn't hold no judgment or critique about what we were doing, whether it was right or wrong. They said, "Yeah, let's do it." Plus, it had that purpose. They wanted to honor these young men and young women for this deed that they accomplished. But it took, like I said, since the 70s to build up to that. And then we had opportunity to do it again the
Well,
next year. Yeah. Okay, go.
I know you want to like. Shandin has a hard time taking compliments, right? And he's wanting to throw the credit back to the stuff in the 70s, which definitely contributed to
Yeah,
this
yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
What it comes down to is it took a guy that just had a goal and moved towards it, instead of what I don't want you to fall into, Jacob,
Yeah.
is not understanding the purpose of something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Absolutely.
Shandin figured out once he figured out what the purpose of that dance was for, and with his enough cultural knowledge, he was able to like fit it into the contemporary Salish life, which I lived there at the time. I was one of the invited singers. I did not participate, but I went to a Sundance.
Yeah, you were gone.
I
You were
went to a
gone at that
Sundance.
time. Yeah.
But my son participated.
Yeah. Yes.
and I wasn't. So, and in this instance, Shandin put aside enrollment and said, "What the purpose is more important."
Yeah.
So, like, I think that's a huge deal in it. But also, I think he didn't wait for an organization to back him. He didn't wait for. He just kind of like cultivated it, right?
Yeah.
For one, he
Mhm.
raised his daughters to have enough cultural understanding that when called upon to do something, they're going to do it. And so he had that between his wife and his daughters and the success of that team. And there was just enough. There was a lot of native kids on the teams, but there was just enough cultural know-how and just enough
Yeah.
for them to say, like, yeah, we're not afraid to do this.
Yeah.
So there was enough. And like he was saying, the elements were there. People knew how to sing. and some of these people were kind of like the black sheep, right? Like some of these people were not the people you called to go to these other ceremonies and things. So I think they considered it kind of like an honor, actually.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, so they were pretty loyal to that idea, right?
Yeah.
So I think this organization you work for, the idea is nice, right? The idea is
Yeah.
like nice that, and I think it's not crazy to think that an organization can come in and help, right? That's what we all think.
Yeah.
But what I'm running into is like these organizations can help, but they can also help too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
When
Yeah.
it comes to
Totally. I agree. Right. Like it's, and yeah, you know, then that's, I think everything that you've expressed have been sort of like the concerns I've had that I haven't been able to put words to. You know what I mean? Like then that's the thing. It's like there's like a desire for like a culturally specific something. You know, like there are people here that are like hungry to practice culture, but there's just there just aren't a lot of living practitioners.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so
Yeah.
then that's sort of like what we're
that-
sort
but
of running
man,
against. Where it's hey.
I hate to say this too, but the fact that there's not many that living practitioners, that also means there's not that many gatekeepers.
Hey.
So there for
Right.
for as much unfortunate that you don't have as many practitioners that you would like, that also means though that number of gatekeepers is limited.
Yeah.
So you can be one of the people that looks at it and says like we don't have the practitioners, or you can just say there's enough knowledge there for somebody to have enough cultural balls to go and do it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the act of doing it, you'll learn so much. Because how many times did you guys do that scalp dance? You did it what, twice or three times?
We did it twice. Yeah. We did it
That
twice.
second time was a lot better, right?
The second time was better. Yeah. Yeah.
The confidence
What?
of people is so
Yeah.
much better.
I think
The
I want to
confidence.
Yeah.
just before we get too far, if it's not compromising editorial request,
What?
maybe take out the living practitioners thing. I just think I can think of a couple people that are practitioners of certain things that I think would get really pissed off if they heard me say that, and justifiably so. But
Well,
anyways, sorry, my bad.
just restate what you
Hey.
just said in a
Yeah,
more
like,
appropriate way.
Yeah.
They want to take
I
nothing
think,
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
What do you
I'm gonna
really
lose
mean?
my job. I think what I really mean is that there's, you know, like the what do I really mean? There's just aren't a lot of singers, you know, like there's just like a
Well, how
lack
many
of
do you need?
what we just need me.
Yeah. There you go. There you
Just
go.
me.
There you go. Well,
And,
this
you know,
is
and that's not even the. I think what, like I like. Nah.
well. Think
Yeah.
about it. Think about this.
Yeah.
The Sundance took hold, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sort of a popular thing, right? In southern BC, as far as I know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. No,
it's a thing.
It is.
So
Yeah.
if that can take hold, then there's obviously the elements are there. There's a
Totally.
purpose that
Where did
Sundance
the
filled.
Sundance come from?
Yeah, and I'm curious about all that too. I don't know where it comes from. But then there's the singers. The singers
Yeah.
are there because obviously you need all that, and
Yeah.
and the other elements of
Well,
the
I'm
purpose.
I'm going to make a point. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, please do. Yes.
Where does the Sundance come from?
Uh,
Where does your Sundance come
like,
from?
I don't know. I don't participate. I don't know who originally brought it out this way.
But
I believe it
have
was
you
around
been,
the
have you
70s,
been
but
to it?
no, I'm just aware that they happen.
Oh,
Yeah.
where like literally in proximity, how far from you does it happen?
Maybe like 15 kilometers.
I don't know what that means. I have no idea what that means.
10 miles. 10 miles.
I do
10 miles.
everything by time. 20 minutes, 30 minutes,
45 minutes, 45 minutes, half an hour, 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it happens there?
Yeah,
Would you say it has a large following?
I think so. I'd say it's hard to say. Like, it's just not something that it's hard to say because I've never been, and it's not something that I talk to too many people about. But
Is
it's
it like secret? Do people act secretive about it? Like,
no, I don't think so. I think if
do
if you were to
call it-
ask,
do they say Sundance? We're going to Sundance.
I think
I'll see you at the ceremony.
you see it advertised on Facebook, I think.
there are a couple Sundances out here that have a Facebook fundraiser.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
And that
Yeah,
means you don't have a
it's-
sponsor. Again, let's go back to the belief of it. If you have to do a fundraiser, then you don't have a sponsor. Then that means it don't happen. I'm gonna say it. I'll say it. I mean,
No,
I'm
say
tired
it.
of
Do it.
I get tired of people that like wonder why culture doesn't exist or why it's dying out. Well, it's because for one, the culture you do, we're doing it wrong. We're doing it wrong, myself included. We're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
If
I
you-
don't know.
if
I
you're
don't know. That's
try-
arguable.
if you-
That's arguable. Wrong. I guess. What's your
No,
marker
it's
for
not
wrong?
arguable. If your people, this is what I'm gonna say. If your people can adopt the Sundance,
Hey,
then
Yeah.
we can fucking figure this out. This other thing, like if you guys can figure out, which I'm gonna, is it the Lakota Sundance?
yeah.
Okay, so if you guys in British Columbia on the Fraser and Thompson rivers can figure out the Lakota Sundance, I'm sure you can figure out one thing that isn't practiced anymore in your culture and
Yeah.
bring it back.
Right?
Yeah.
No, and I think that's what I'd like to do, or that's what I'd like to help with. And if that means that it's something that I do in my own life, aside from whatever whatever my profession happens to be, then that's that's
Yeah.
I want to be a practitioner.
Yeah.
I feel like I am a practitioner in
Yeah.
the way that I kind of conduct myself, and the way that I try to the things I do in my personal life, and the way that I try to support others or show up
Yeah.
to support different events, or just so I'm not an aspiring practitioner. Maybe I'm going to firmly say I'm a practitioner of culture.
There you go.
Yeah.
Come
See?
on.
Embrace
Thank
it.
you.
Embrace it.
I'm a practitioner.
So think about it this way: if I go up to you and I say, "Hey,
Ooh,
I
I'm
want to
good.
do this cultural thing with you. Do you know how to do it? Where you're a practitioner?" And you go, "Well, I'm an aspiring practitioner."
I say, hell
Next.
yeah, dude.
Bring in the
Next.
other guy. Bring in
Oh.
the other guy. Like
I'm sweating. I'm getting sweaty.
we don't
Yeah.
Don't mince words.
Native people in Native North America, we don't need any more kind of people. We don't need
Yeah.
maybe. We don't
Hey.
need almost. We don't need. Oh, I don't know. Like no more of that. Like just do it.
Just need Indians.
Yeah.
The answer isn't in New Zealand. The answer isn't in the UNESCO treaties.
Yeah,
The answer
the Declaration of
in Ottawa.
Not in the
The
UN.
answer is right
Yeah.
there. Like just
Undrip.
do it.
Yeah.
UNDRIP is not going to answer your problems.
Yeah, no. The premier isn't
Yeah.
gonna do anything.
No. The care and
You
fair
don't need
principles
legislation.
is
Wait, what? The Karen Fair principle?
the care and fair principles.
That's a deep
Walking
cut.
in two worlds is not doing it anymore.
No. You don't have to
seeing isn't going to do it.
You
Yeah.
don't have to braid sweet grass.
You don't have to braid
have
no
to-
knowledge.
You don't have to braid knowledge. You don't have to do. You
Don't
don't have
leave
to
no
call
wisdom.
a missing person a feather alert. You don't have to do any of that. You just have to just do it. You know. Just like I must be.
You gotta
I
do
must
it.
be-
Shut up and sing.
I
Shut
must
up
be
and
on
sing,
one
yeah.
because I must be on one
Oh.
because usually Miranda's like sits there and kind of like listens, but she went in the other room, so she's
like,
oh,
shut up.
look at that. This guy's full
Oh,
of
I
shit.
feel bad.
Oh.
Sorry, Miranda.
I say all this, and I would consider myself a practitioner too, but I also know I've made a lot of mistakes culturally. I've made a lot of mistakes trying things too hard or like putting efforts in wrong places. but where I've found success is that I've always tried to remember what the intent of said ritual or ceremony or whatever, and then I would try to find the thing that best fits that. Now, in the case of tribes that have lost so much, where there's only one thing, then you do the shit out of that one thing until it becomes normalized. You make it normal. I'm tired of like tribal people like making things like secret all the time, and then they wonder why like nobody wants to do it. Well, for one, they don't know about it, and then you make it seem like Illuminati shit, you know. Then you're like, these kids, they don't know nothing about our culture. Well, for one, you treat it like this like weird cult, like that's like in the underground. Don't shoot anybody, you know. So yeah. I'm gonna stop talking because I feel like I'm
well, no, please don't.
I think we got something worked out here.
I think okay, this is what I want. This is your homework.
Yeah.
This is
your homework.
This is because you came here with a problem and you're gonna leave here with the same problem.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a fact.
Yeah.
You still got the problem to deal with. But what I'm gonna tell you is that use your organization to help your people, but don't become a crutch for your people. Don't become the thing that they're just waiting for you. What's the name of your group called?
I'm scared to say no. Just kidding. The cheat Intercatum Assembly.
I can't say that.
Yeah, you can. I remember, Shandin, remember when you told him how to say eagle in Salish and he thought you made it up?
Oh, yeah.
I think we've got a problem on this podcast.
That's crazy. I've never really talked this long to somebody who like actually listens to the podcast.
Oh yeah.
Should I hope. Go ahead.
Well, anyway, before I get to my next point, because I'm blown away right now, but when you leave here, I want your organization to figure out, for one, their intent. And without these broad, we just want to preserve culture. Well, that's not good enough for me anymore.
No,
that whole thing, that's for grant writers. I'm not a grant writer. No. I'm an Indian, and when I go to your res or your territory, I want to know I'm there, right? And so far, I've never seen a grant that does that.
No,
only people can do that. So whatever you guys are gonna do. I think you should just figure out a way to be a place people feel they can use you as a sponsor to help sponsor what people want to do. Like you got to put it in their hands, man. Like I don't, whatever that is. If it is a potlatch or this the other dances or even just a powwow, right? Yeah. Sponsoring a powwow, but get people to do it. Get the people to come in and do it and just say, hey, we'll provide these services. But man, the intent has to come from you guys. You guys got to come in and do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just put it down.
Just put her down, man. Yeah.
I mean, for real, I'm just going to ask Indian people right now to quit being bitches, man.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. There's
I'm guilty of
there's
it.
a short game and there's a long game, you know.
Yeah.
There's a short game and a long game.
I hear you.
And if you're gonna play the long game, I mean you do that because there's a reason, there's a capacity problem, and that's not a institutional capacity, but a cultural capacity problem. Like we couldn't do this Siyudlam if we didn't have people who knew how to sing. It would be just me singing and you know my kids who are interested in the songs, and that could work. Yeah, but that's not helping to build that capacity. But that's the practical things. The bigger thing is like Aaron is talking about and promoting is the purpose, and you have to generate that interest in the people to say, this is purpose enough that we don't just go do an honor song at the powwow. There's purpose enough that we want to do something that's specific to us that strengthens our identity and that builds this sort of stronger sense of oneself and where you come from. And organizations and entities, nonprofits can help in that manner, but not you have to have the right people with the right
Yeah.
I don't know what you call it, the right direction. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you're just gonna keep repeating the same thing
Yeah.
over and
No,
over.
absolutely. And then
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess
yeah. And
with that,
you
with
see
that,
that like so. I wish this thing would have caught on. Like more people from my home would have seen this Siyudlam as super important, and that they would have done it or called to do it for these really important things that happened on our res. Like we took
yeah,
over the National Bison Range. That would have been a perfect
yeah,
time to celebrate the people who did that through this Siyudlam way. We took
yeah,
over a hydroelectric facility. That'd have been an awesome time to say, "Hey, man, let's recognize the people who did that, and we'll let them speak of their deeds with this Siyudlam." But you know what they did in both of those instances?
what?
You can probably guess how that was celebrated.
I don't think I can.
No, you can. You
I'm
can you like take
a
one guess.
shutter,
How do people celebrate accomplishments today? Indian people.
a banquet, a little an honor
That
song,
probably happened
an
too.
honor song,
No, they
an
do a
honor
little
song.
powwow and they had a little grand entry of people.
Oh,
And
okay. Oh, I see. I see. Okay.
I don't know,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. No,
That's
I
like,
feel it. Well, I mean, it's just like that. I
yeah.
think I'm gonna. I just want to keep on impressing Aaron with how often I've listened to these guys. It's like the praise song at the wedding, versus an honor song at like
Yeah.
some kind of gathering, right? Like
Oh goddamn, I'm sick of honor songs, man.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the dirge, the funeral march.
The
and then
dirge.
everyone stares at you, and I'm like,
Oh yeah,
well, this is defeating the purpose of the honor of honoring these people
yeah,
because now
yeah.
they're just
Oh yeah.
staring at me.
Yeah.
Well, I guess with this input, and like I said earlier, like what Aaron said, like my concerns in so many words, like in words that I haven't articulated, or like you're like what Aaron expressed. There's my concerns in the ways that I hadn't been able to articulate in terms of the purpose of the event, like this particular type of social gathering, or this way to kind of get together to see one another again, would strengthening one's identity, or to have a presentation of these things to put into their hands that they might not have even been aware of before. Was that enough of a purpose to try to hold, like in your mind, off the jump, if you were to attend something that the purpose of which is to learn or sort of see these things that haven't been practiced for a while, to sort of have that come back out as something that, with the intent of kind of strengthening a tribal person's identity. Is that enough of a purpose? How would you feel about something like that, where it's not, the intention isn't to have this like annual, for convenience, it's like we're going to have an annual CNA potlatch just for the sake of having an annual CNA potlatch, but
Yeah,
here we're going to have this event because there are people in the organization that are members of the communities that feel really driven to strengthen their identity as community members and as tribal people. And this is like a practice that has fallen out, but it's the one that has like the most recent living memory, if that makes sense. Like the most recent descriptions, and like the closest one. You know what I mean? If that would, yeah. How does that strike you, as in turn, instead of like a mush mouth description of like a Tate thing?
I'm not gonna say it's bad. Like,
All right.
I mean, intent.
No, just kidding.
I mean, intent is totally up to you, right? I guess what
yeah.
I'm saying is your intent has to fit an aspect of your culture.
Yeah.
You express your intent, then you find the aspect it fits. That's what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
So if you want this, like, for lack of a better term, a talking circle, or let's say a feed, right? Like, then you just have to know, well, what intent seems to fit that, right? Like,
Yeah.
obviously, grandma has cancer. Let's well, then there's certain things you're gonna do for that. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, obviously, you're not gonna have a celebratory powwow because grandma has cancer, right?
Yeah.
You're not gonna do that. So, you just look for the intent, man, and the intent can be anything. And if that intent is simply just to bring people who might have an inkling of knowledge of a certain thing, just to bring together to share that and then try to create some cohesive thing out of it, then that's good enough, man. Back in the day, the Crows used to do, well, they still do it, but I call it obilau, and that means to smoke talk. And what the whole point was they would say that, like, for example, in the 70s, we lost a ceremony called the Sacred Pipe Dance. And there were still people alive that were either members of this society, but it just hadn't been practiced since they were children, or there was people who had witnessed the last ceremony, or even people whose family owned objects related to that ceremony. So they invited all these people, these menfolk mostly, and they sat and they smoked, and each person just talked about what they had witnessed or what they had learned. And then they all compared notes, and there was people there who had just sat there and listened and kind of informally were scribes, but the idea, the smoke talk thing, is a Crow ritual, but it was kind of used as a preservation tool for another ceremony. So maybe there's something like that in your culture where there's a way where people can share knowledge traditionally in a group setting, and maybe that's what you're sponsoring. Maybe that's the thing, and then you can invite the public to be witnesses to the knowledge but they're not to interrupt that. That you're going to invite 10, 12 people to share what they know amongst themselves about something, and you're going to allow the people in your community to witness it, but not to interrupt it. I think that's even better.
Yeah, I will say, feel very vindicated that. So the way that we're doing it now is with that intent, like so the format of it now is to invite people that we know to be practitioners and singers that kind of hold a lot of cultural knowledge. So the idea is to sort of have it almost like at a winter dance where people are kind of in the room, and where we have our invited knowledge keepers and elders to come.
Level ones or level twos?
Level threes only.
Oh, all right.
Sorry, sorry.
You gotta have that C4 endorsement, though.
Yeah. They need to only 6'1" status card holders
6'7"
for all the Canadians.
6'7". No.
6'7".
No.
6'7".
Don't do it.
6. Yes.
Don't do it.
Here we go. Now we're cooking. But so to have these invited knowledge keepers come up, and they've just been asked to share a song. It could be an old tune or one of their own, and just to share what they know about the song and offer some words of encouragement to the people that are there to sing it, if it's a song that they can sing somewhere down the line, right? So that's
okay. All right. Okay. So okay. Having heard that, then what I really want, and I push this because I've experienced this, is actually I don't let your audience participate.
Ooh.
Like don't let them.
No. Yeah.
If this group of people thinks their job is to teach that to the crowd, then it becomes different. Like something happens to where actually people lose knowledge. As a former instructor of at a tribal college, I know this to be true in a lot of cases where when you're witnessing two people discuss a point, you learn a lot by just watching and observing them, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to one of those people teaching you their point. And we kind of run into this where when we worked for the Indigenous Research Center, we would have these little colloquium things, and we'd invite people to speak. and then they'd sit at the table with us, and then just us talked. And at the end, there might have been some questions, but the feedback I was getting from the students was they were learning more from the group talking amongst themselves as opposed to the interactions outside of that. Would you find that to be true, Shandin?
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree.
So my thing is, take this idea of these people, these knowledge keepers, to share songs and in some ways giving formal permission for people to use them as a way of perpetuating them, right?
Yeah.
But that's even secondary. But the idea of sharing the song, the meaning, even the structural integrity of a song is important. Like, these songs are made this way. This is how you're supposed to sing them. And actually really allow these people who have that knowledge to be truthful, in the sense that if you're gonna do this, do it right. Sing it right. Don't just be like, oh, we're so glad you're singing it. Like, that's also weird too, right? Like, so now that I kind of know the direction you want to go, I think the intention is good, and your organization, you'll find, I think you can be pretty creative and find a way to make it work. But for the first one of these, I would really encourage, at least for the first half, we'll say that, of this, not to allow for audience participation or questions. You're just allowing these people to talk amongst other practitioners about this thing. And you'll find that the dynamic is different. I've seen it with all levels of practitioners, whether it's hardcore people or like, level, like a B1, But you'll find that, like, and I think in the format, this is cool, right? So I think the format even follows like this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
The best feedback I've ever gotten about the podcast is the fact that me and Shandin hash out problems and people witness it. I've heard it from a lot of people. They say that what we like is that you guys like just talk and you don't worry about teaching us stuff.
No, exactly. Right. That's
And so what I'm trying to tell you is take that same concept to what you're trying to do. The benefit of the audience is exactly that, to be an audience.
Heck
Now I could see this being a thing. Like, this can be pretty cool.
I feel like I buried the lead a little bit. I feel like I really threw off the pace.
Or maybe
the opposite of buried the lead. I don't know. I feel like I should have led with that, with the model that.
No,
like
I think
the
you
structure
tried.
of the event.
I think you tried, but honestly, I think you had to talk to honest people about it.
Oh, yeah.
And your elevator's speech was garbage,
No, I
mean, we're all guilty.
No.
You know how many times I've ruined the project just because my intro to it was trash? So you should see me try to figure out what we're going to eat for dinner. I feel like a crazy person.
Man.
I can't even just do that normal.
That's the worst thing. That's the worst thing.
Yeah, dude, I feel like
Well, Jakob.
Okay.
Jakob.
Yes, sir.
Let's get to your summary, your 1 or 2 minute summary of what you heard here, man.
Yeah.
What I heard here.
Let's hear it. 1 or 2 minute, preferably 1.
1 or 2 minute. So
go to.
Okay, go to.
Don't be an analyst. Don't be a historian. Be an Indian. Be a practitioner of the culture. Have that cultural confidence. The cultural confidence to just step up and do something with an intent that is articulated well in advance. Express intent and find the purpose that fits that intent. Is that what you said, Aaron? That sounded important. So I wrote it down, but I think I might have messed up the back half of it. But just don't don't do something just for the sake of doing something because it looks cool or it sounds neat. Just find the need and just like be a member of the community. Be an Indian enough to know what the community needs or wants, and then identify. You take that as like your intent to try to do something, and then try to identify something whose purpose is to address that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Am I a good student?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty badass.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
All right. Heck yeah.
you,
All right. Did I
um,
pass?
Yeah, dude. Like I
Yeah.
wouldn't even have said that. With,
Yeah.
if someone said, Aaron, tell Aaron what you meant to say. I wouldn't have said that. I'm impressed, man. And in fact,
Oh,
it's kind
man.
of it.
That's so
It feels
vindicating.
weird.
It's weird.
refreshing. It's refreshing, and in some ways, it's like I feel for the first time in a long time by somebody in this world, this academic world, like that felt respectful, man. Like I felt respected. That's pretty cool. Yeah,
Dang.
that's crazy.
Oh man, it warmed my
That was
heart.
cool.
Oh,
You
heck
warmed
yeah.
his heart.
I will say also.
I'm a
if you
Grinch, dude, and you just
Busted it open.
message that sweater.
oh yeah, dude, I'm all about these
Yeah.
fuckers, dude.
I will say, if you want like a testimonial of someone that kind of came up. So I grew up in the suburbs and lived in the city for a long time. Like we've been living, like moved back to where my mom's from here in Merritt like 4 years ago. So the way I learned how to sing powwow, or I mean, I can barely say I learned how to sing, because no one ever really taught me how to sing properly, because the attitude in the city was that, we're just happy that you're here singing. Don't worry about singing it right. We're just do your best, like, or what the heck? What do people say? Well, whatever. But all that is to say, I was just a guy that would try to sing a powwow song and I was on beat all the time. So that's what you get with that kind of teaching attitudes. People that are on the beat. No one likes dancing to them. The drum sucks.
No,
So
and it takes
sing it
the
right.
time.
Sing it right. And that's
Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
glad you're open to those critiques, because honestly, it's going to make you a better Indian. Like
Yeah.
really, the
Yes.
best native people, the best practitioners are people who were very clearly told what to do and what not to do,
Yeah.
but also given enough freedom to do those things.
Yeah.
And so I'm not one of those people that think you can't learn to be an Indian in the city, or you can't learn to be an Indian alone. But what it takes is someone has to be open to criticism, and you have to fucking try.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's a discipline piece, right? It's just like you have to have enough discipline to show up after you mess up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
You know,
just start knowing you're gonna
apply.
mess up.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
start, and
Exactly.
singing is actually a great gateway drug for culture, because
Yeah.
for one, you learn that the only good singers out there are people who are committed to it, meaning literally committed to it. If you're gonna sing a song, like you can't go like you gotta like sing a song, right? So you like learn it. So I'm glad that you recognize those things, man. And thanks for listening to the podcast. It's refreshing.
No.
Yeah.
When Shandin called and said, "Hey, I know this guy. He's got this problem, this dilemma he wants to work out," or he had some questions for me about it. And then I said, "Well, we should record soon. We should have a guest, because I think people might be tired of listening to us talk." And then he said, "Well, what about this guy?" And
Nonsense.
I said, "Only if he's willing to work the problem out in real time with us."
Yeah.
And you were willing to do it. That takes a lot of balls. And I respect that. But I'm not gonna take it easy either. So it's only gonna happen.
Well, no, man, it's just like
it's only gonna happen if we want it.
It's important stuff, man. We can't just like, it's like you said at the beginning. It's not,
What is the deal, man?
I think that like
This is the deal.
Hey.
You said you heard us. You heard what we had to say. Now it's doing it. And then let's revisit it, man.
Heck yeah. Yeah,
Let's
we'll do a
revisit it.
follow-up episode. That'd be awesome.
in however long it's going to take. When you think you've achieved something, let's see what happens, and then we
Yeah.
can go through
Heck yeah.
the things that you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
awesome, man. I appreciate
Sweet.
it.
Awesome, man. Well, shoot, I appreciate you guys letting me jump on here. It's awesome. It's like
Yeah.
I feel like the answering listener calls is becoming a popular podcast format. So this is the first.
The what?
You know,
There's a whole bunch of these podcasts where people will call in and be like, "Oh, my girlfriend's cousin is like,
Oh,
I don't know,
yeah.
my
And they do it,
stepdad
yeah.
or something." So now you're like,
yeah.
so it's so maybe I don't know.
Maybe, and you know, the way our style isn't for everybody.
Yeah.
No.
I'm learning that. I'm learning that not everybody wants. A lot of Native people want the Brady knowledge approach to things, and
Yeah, they want the
that's
healing
their
our
thing.
spirits worldwide.
Yeah,
It sounds like a Will Ferrell movie or something like that. It sounds like the Catalina wine mixer.
yeah.
This
And that's cool
is
too.
freaking healing our spirits worldwide.
What do I always tell people? I don't need to be recognized. I don't need you guys to like have to bring your sweetgrass to the meeting. I don't need Indigenous Peoples Day. I'm gonna be who I am, with or without it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way everybody should be. I mean, I appreciate recognition, but I don't need it, you know?
Yeah. The starting the prayer. I was working in a health authority when you guys recorded an episode where you talked about opening meetings with a prayer.
Mm-hmm.
And that was very vindicating. That was
nice.
It seems awkward, right?
Me when I was oh my god.
Yeah.
When you're trying to negotiate with a hospital that's underpaying, that's like won't give elders taxi vouchers to come and visit people, and they're taking those same elders to an unpaid meeting and having to open with the prayer before they tell you that they can't give them their taxi vouchers. It's kind of just like a little kick in the nuts, you know what I mean?
I pray that the hospital gives the elders the taxi vouchers.
See, now if they opened the meeting with that as part of the prayer, then that's a different story.
Yeah.
But
again,
we're talking about,
it comes down to intent.
Dude,
that's right.
And purpose.
Sometimes you don't want to go in. Sometimes I don't want to do things in a good way. They don't deserve it sometimes, you know?
I'm going to start this meeting in a bad way.
Yeah, I'm going to flip this
I
thing.
say it all the time.
Prayer.
My job in preservation is confrontational in nature. I'm not going to start this meeting off in a good way because that's not why I'm there. I'm there to tell you that I don't like your project. I don't want it to happen. And here's my reasons why. Like, I don't know why we need to do this little dog and pony show, man. Anyway.
Okay.
Let's be done.
I keep trying to cut us. All right. This is it, man. You got your job.
Heck yeah.
You got your task.
Sir.
We're going to see you in a year's time, maybe less.
Yeah, sounds good.
Right on. Okay.
Right on.
Man,
Awesome.
nice
Thanks a lot,
to meet
guys.
you. Thanks again.
Nice to meet you, bro. Have a good one, guys.